Okay, so this is just a walkthrough of Gods and Monsters. This is the regular version. I just want to do a perspective of what to expect when you're around 189 CR. And you could probably expect this at like 180 to 185 as well. Um, but yeah, this was actually my first time running this raid because for whatever reason it was hard for me to get in a group. For this raid. And when I did get in a group, this one time I got in a group like at 180 CR, I was tanking it and I DC'd before the first boss. So I just like I had to like adjust my computer's settings to make sure I don't DC anymore. But yeah, this is just a walkthrough of this raid. It starts off with ads, just like any other piece of content. The ads themselves, at least in regular, don't seem to do anything special, so you can just burn them without having to worry about too much. Actually, I do think there's a phoenix in here that puts a shield on itself, much like one of the ads in Darkseid's War Factory, like that ad that shoots a laser. The phoenix in here also puts a shield on itself. Another thing was like this troll in this run was kind of annoying me because they kept using gadgets encasement uh debuff, and it's just so annoying when they get encased and then somebody hits them and they fly all over the room and then you miss some of your damage, and it's just not the ads don't burn as even. But that's the like most annoying thing that happened in this raid. So that's not like that major. So like this raid went pretty smooth, but this is like a 189 CR perspective. I don't know if you have a smooth run at less CR. I'm just showing you what to expect once you have all the vendor gear. Because I'm not gonna farm the duo anymore. I just don't want to farm that duo to have, like I think the max CR you can get from the duo is maybe 183, which is actually pretty nice. I mean, that's a 8 CR jump from 175 just from doing the duo, so that's pretty nice. This boss, there's two bosses that come out. Brontus is one of them, and then there's the one to the west. I can't really see his name at the moment because he's not in screen. You can run one tank for this boss. One tank is plenty enough to handle both, and uh, again, it's weird because maybe one tank isn't plenty enough to handle it at a less than like 185 CR. I don't know, maybe you could do it at 175, but at 189 you can definitely one tank this boss. I don't think the tank here knew that there was two bosses because he didn't pull that second boss for such a long time. Now there is a mechanic to this room. Certain parts of this room will turn into lava, and the lava will dot you and kill you if you don't move out of it. And it does give you a pretty decent amount of time to get out of it. So yeah, you just move to the parts of the room that don't have lava. A lot of the time, like further into the fight, the entire room except one little area will be filled with lava. So that's like something to watch out for. See, I almost died from just standing in there. You can get healed out of it, but your healer has to be like really on point. There's like no point in burning your power, trying to heal somebody that's standing in the lava. See, as you can see, that the tank even died because I don't think he knew you could. I don't think he knew you had to move away from it. But yeah, a healer can heal you out of it, but it's just not worth wasting the power to do so. But other than that, this boss is very basic, at least in Reg. I haven't done Elite, so I can't speak from that perspective. I would think like the lava would probably kill you instantly in Elite if you don't move out of it, so you probably have to really pay attention to that. I didn't see this boss do any like special attacks or anything. He's just like a tank and spank basically. So the in Elite maybe he gains a mechanic, but in Reg you have really nothing to worry about. That guy died because he was standing right in front of the boss as the boss was doing like a one-hander AOE attack, so that's the reason he died. And yeah, this boss is fairly simple. Just stay away from the lava and burn him down. Uh, yeah, so I'm just gonna let this part play out, and yeah, it's already done. Okay, yeah, that went by pretty fast. For two bosses, they burn down really fast when you match their CR. Obviously, I wouldn't know how fast they burn if you're like 185 or less than that, because I never ran this raid. that early on. I didn't run this raid when I was lower than 189 CR, so I can only show you what to expect from this. And once you finish it, you there's a briefing on that south side, and then you go up like the northeast stairs, and there's a briefing right there. I didn't get it because I don't care what drops from them. Um, but yeah, these are more ad waves. I think the Phoenix comes up after this set of ads, so you'll be able to see that he puts up a shield on himself. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be here. Oh no, it's not a Phoenix. It's a Harpy that puts a shield on itself. I don't really know the mechanic to that. It's probably like Darkseid's War Factory, where if you stun it, it takes its shield down or something, or if you juggle it. Uh, right there, he didn't get stunned and his shield went away. Are they trading off the shields? See, I don't know this mechanic at all, and I wasn't paying attention. But were they reflecting my damage? I don't really know. But yeah, there's the Phoenix, and leading into the second boss, it's pretty interesting. You have like um, there's one boss, there's two bosses, and then there's like Gorgons, which are like three altogether or two. So there's about 4 to 5 bosses in just this boss fight alone. I didn't realize this, but to start this encounter, you have to move into the middle of the room. So I was just standing there, just looking at the Coliseum. But it's kind of cool. This area is like a mini survival mode. You first start off by fighting ads that are super weak. They're like as weak as the things in what's it called? The Suicide Squad event mission. You hit them and they die in like one hit. And then it moves on to more beefy ads like that you actually are probably going to take you a few rotations to kill. And then it moves on to bosses, like a little mini survival mode. And it makes sense. It's sorry, I hit my mic. It's like a coliseum, so you're just in there just surviving uh encounters. And yeah, we had set up this raid had been set up to run 2 heals, but it didn't really seem like we needed 2 heals. Like this person, Gabrielle SG solo healed the entire raid at 184. But again, man, I'm just wondering how much more damage would you take when the group isn't 189? Like I would assume that would be quite a bit more damage, but if you're 189, you can solo heal this raid. I'm pretty sure you can do it at 188 cuz 188 will be I think the highest you can get using just raid content. 189 is the vendor, and I don't know if gold will get you 190. Uh, don't know how large the CR is from gold gear, but it's probably higher CR than elite gear. I would think. Isn't it usually? I don't know. I don't even want to speak on that. But yeah, these ads are fairly easy to kill. Uh, they spawn on the north, south, and east side of the room. I didn't see them spawn on the west side of the room, but maybe that was just luck or whatever. But yeah, you generally don't want to stand in those areas because they'll attack you first and you'll die. And in reg, that's not an issue, so you don't really have to worry about that. But yeah, just you beat up some ads and then these bosses will come out. And I'll explain the mechanics for the bosses once they're out, but right here I'll just let the ads get cleared and then I'll start talking again.
No matter. Those creatures were weak, paltry, and I should thank you for culling my ranks. Now you will face the greatest champions of my arena. No human has ever been their match.
Alright, so here are the bosses. As you can see, there's quite a few of them. They're all bosses, so don't think any of them are ads. Now, the Gorgon Trickster has a special attack where they'll put you in stone like they just did right there to me. And you can't really burn any of the bosses until you kill the Phoenix Life Warden. He'll basically heal all the bosses. So you want that to be your first target. Again, this is my first time running this, so I didn't even realize this until I looked at the boss's health and I was like, wow, this Minotaur's health is not moving anywhere. Like it would move, but then it would just go right back up. And that was because that Life Warden was there. So I don't know. Maybe you can heal debuff the boss and they won't heal, but it's better just to get rid of that Phoenix like immediately. Just get it out of the way. And I realized that in like a few seconds here. But yeah, once you kill the Phoenix, then the bosses won't heal anymore, and you can just burn them down. It's fairly easy. I didn't really see any big special attacks from these bosses. That Minotaur Defender is in the alert, and he does the same things he would do in the alert. After you take his health down far enough, he will do a charge attack. That charge attack hit me one time, and it didn't really do too much damage. Uh, but you should probably try and avoid it because it's so easy to just see it coming. I mean, he gets like a skull on his head, and then he looks at you, and he does that for like 3 seconds before he charges. So it's pretty hard to get hit by that attack. But it did hit me because I just didn't. I didn't move because my ghost had blocked his first charge, and you'll see that once we get to him. So I just thought that they would do that for the second one, so I just didn't even bother. The tank can also block him from reaching you with his charge attack. But yeah, uh, Phoenix life spawn, or that's life warden. Why am I reading life spawn? Yeah, so now the Phoenix is out of the way, and you can just burn the rest of the bosses. You want to make sure whenever your group members get trapped in stone, you want to break them out because it could be your healer, and if you're running one healer, you might end up with a tank dying because they're not getting heals if you're not breaking that person out of stone, because it does take quite a while for them to break out just on their own. So it's definitely important to when somebody says they're stone, just make sure you turn to them and break them out. But this fight is really pretty simple. That's Gorgon Trickster is really the only one that has a special attack you should worry about. The Life Warden is easy burn. That's you just burn her down, or him, or I don't fucking know. You just burn him down, and then you can kill the rest of the bosses. So yeah, I'll just stop talking for maybe no. I'll just stop talking till we get to the Minotaur, and then if the Minotaur does anything special, I'll like explain. Oh, I don't know what killed me right there. I don't really know. It did kind of happen when that first boss died, so maybe that's the reason, or maybe the Harpy Striker just did some big AOE attack. So yeah, I don't know what killed me right there. So yeah, I'll be back when the Minotaur is up.
The pain!
All right, so here we are at the Minotaur Defender. He's super simple. All you do is burn him down. You get him to a certain amount of health, and he'll charge at you like that. I think this time the ghost blocked him. Uh, Also, there were henchmen out. No, the henchman got called afterwards, but one of my ghosts blocked his charge. But it's not really something to worry about in reg. In elite, it might be like it might be a big issue. It might be something you need to really avoid. As you can see, he's about to hit me right here. Or did he even hit me? Did he hit the ghost? Because I didn't even take a little bit of damage from that attack. So I think he hit the ghost. Um, so I love Mass Hysteria, man. It's a nice supercharge for protecting yourself against damage. Yeah, man, he got burned so fast. What the hell? I'm not needing on anything, any like gear or anything because I have the 165 gear and it's better than anything that'll drop in this raid. But if any of the collections from the for the gold gear drops, then I would obviously take those. Uh, Not that I'm gonna run this raid so much to actually end up getting them because they would take a long time.
The power of Zeus's lightning bolt is incredible. I may not be able to withstand the strain much longer.
Your will is strong, Diana. I admire that. But will alone shall not allow you to endure the energy of Zeus's lightning bolt. I can lend you a touch of my power, which will help, but it shall not last long.
None of the ads in here are a threat. You can just run through. You can just run through the raid. I know I needed to turn on not turn on my mic, but I had to switch to instance chat to hear what the person who there's somebody in the group explaining how to do the Typhon fight because I asked. If I hadn't asked, I would have been like completely clueless. But oh man, this fight is like simple. Like it's really simple. All you have to do is kill the ads, and once the ads are pretty cleared, you'll get like a lightning bolt that starts from the start of the room all the way to Typhon, and your group has to line up. So you have to line up in like it doesn't even have to be a perfect line, but the lightning bolt has to change from person to person until it reaches Typhon, and once it reaches Typhon, he'll take damage from that lightning bolt. You're not actually damaging him with your powers, you're just chaining the lightning bolt to Typhon, and then he'll take a chunk of damage, and then you do that like I think you do that 3 or 4 times, and then he's dead. The fight itself is really easy. Again, that's in reg. In elite, the ads in here will hit you because there's snakes that come up that have a pretty they have like long range, so they'll generally just hit you. And I wonder if like in the elite, if they hit you, it's a one shot. Maybe it is. Again, I haven't done elite, so but yeah, this fight's easy. You just kill the ads, and once Wonder Woman prompts you with that lightning bolt thing, you just line up and it reaches Typhon, and you do that like 3 times, 3 or 4 times, and he dies, and that's the end of the raid. But yeah, now I'm just gonna let the rest of the video play out, and you'll see like how we line up. It's not even a perfect line. It doesn't have to be a perfect line, but it does have to be somewhat. It has to be a decent line because you do want the bolt to chain from a few people and be able to reach Typhon, so you don't want to be completely spread out. But you'll definitely get it. Like we didn't even have a perfect line and it still reached him. So I'm glad they didn't force like you had to be in a completely straight line the entire time. The tank, you want the tank to be the one who's near Typhon, and I think you want a tank at the very beginning of the room. That way they're pulling the ads down there and the ads up there, and I think they can still aggro everything in the middle. But yeah, that was an example of the snake killing somebody because, well, it does hit like kind of hard in reg, but it's not like a one shot status. And this person's been solo healing the whole raid, by the way, so that's just good example of not needing 2 healers, at least at 189 CR. But they are also celestial, so their range can reach from like the beginning of the room all the way to Typhon, and from Typhon all the way to the beginning of the room. But even as nature or sorcery, electric, whatever, you can just move around in the middle and you'll be able to hit everyone. You just have to have decent positioning and know where people are. But yeah, it's pretty doable. That's the second time the healer died. I think it'd be smart as a healer. If you're a healer power that's long range, you should probably be around the tank, because it's pretty unlikely that anything will hit you if you're around the tank, because like the tank will be able to take aggro from you. But I'm not saying stand on the tank. I'm saying stand like near the tank, like somewhere in their vicinity. But yeah. I wish I paid attention to this storyline though, because Wonder Woman has a thunderbolt on her back, and I'm just like, why does she have a thunderbolt on her back? Like, what happened? But that's the thunderbolt you're using to kill Typhon. So for some reason, it's on her back. But yeah, I really like this boss though. I like I expected Typhon to be an outside boss because I didn't really know how they would do it by putting him in a raid, because I knew he was like a big like Titan level boss. But I expected him to be on the outside for some reason. But they did a good job at putting him in a raid. It's like they collapsed the floor, so yeah, he's like half his body is down in the ground and shit. And it just like I like this room. I like how it looks. It's a well designed boss fight in general. I think it's pretty interesting. For me, it's a lot more interesting than Zeus's fight. Like Zeus, has interesting mechanics in Elite, but in Reg he just does not seem very intimidating at all. Like the biggest attacks that can get you are the dot and the little lightning feet he puts down. Other than that, there's not too much to worry about. But in definitely in Elite, like he has some funny mechanics that I think I've explained in a different video. But yeah, I know some of them. I think I know all of them. But yeah, he has some funny mechanics in Elite. Also, Typhon will shoot fire down towards the tank. You probably don't want to be in that fire because obviously it does do quite a bit of damage. This is where quite a few people died. I love seeing Celestials using consecrated ground, dude. That is just awesome to see a Celestial that knows how good that supercharge is. Basically saved all those people from having to wipe. But oh, there's a briefing over there, and I just noticed it. Yeah, if you see any briefings in this video, just keep note of them because I personally never care about them. So I won't be like completely pointing them out. But yeah, that's the whole boss fight for Typhon. It's not hard, it's pretty straightforward. Luckily, you don't have to line up in a perfect line, so that's also good. The completion time, I guess that's what to expect at 189 CR. You can probably get 20 minutes with like really even burn using like the best powers or whatever, but expect like 25 to 30 minutes on release date maybe. But I don't know, like it's so hard to compare 189 CR to 175 because you will be hitting so soft at 175. Guaranteed you'll be hitting real soft. So this raid could end up taking like 40 minutes for all anyone knows, but I don't even know what feat that is. Is that a feat? Or did I get a yeah, completed? Yeah. Feat Herald. Oh, oh man, that was the feat for completing so many instances. Yeah, my test server tune is a complete noob. I do not feat farm at all. They give you enough skill points to test stuff, and that's plenty enough for me, so I don't really feat farm. But yeah, that's the Typhon fight in Gods and Monsters. I hope this walkthrough helps you out. The regular version doesn't really have too much to worry about. You just have to line up in the line when killing Typhon, and that's the hardest thing. Or that's the most complicated thing you have to do in Gods and Monsters. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.